Hello everyone, and welcome. Let's take a nice deep breath in together and let it go. Today, we are going on a beautiful journey. We are going to explore the wonderful world of yoga. You might think of yoga as stretching or making interesting shapes with your body. And yes, that is part of it. But yoga is so much more than just physical movement. It is a gift that has been shared for thousands of years. It is a way to connect with yourself, to find a little bit of quiet in a very noisy world. It is a practice for your body, but also for your mind and your spirit. It's an invitation to show up just as you are. Think of yoga as a special kind of conversation. It is a conversation between you and your body. It is a way to listen to what your body needs. Let's prepare to travel back in time. Let's begin. Our story begins long ago. We travel back thousands of years to ancient India, a land of spirit and history. Here in the Indus Valley civilization, yoga's roots began. This was one of the world's first great societies. Archaeologists found small stone seals. On these seals are carved figures. They sit tall, legs crossed in meditation. These are yoga's earliest images. No books, just these mysterious pictures. They hint at a search for body and mind connection. People sat in stillness practicing meditation. These ancient figures are like yoga's ancestors. Their quiet images began the story of yoga. From these beginnings, yoga's journey unfolds. Now let's move forward in time on our journey. We enter a period known as the Vedic period, which began around 1500 BC. This was a very important time for the development of yoga's ideas. The wisdom of this era was written down in sacred texts called the Vedas. The Vedas are some of the oldest scriptures in the world. They are a collection of beautiful hymns, poems, prayers, rituals. While the Vedas don't talk about yoga poses or asanas like we do today, they are filled with the foundational ideas that would become the heart of yoga. They contain the spiritual soil where yoga's philosophical roots would grow deep and strong. In these ancient texts, we find the first written mention of the word yoga. Here, the word meant something like yoke union. It described the act of yoking or joining your mind and spirit to a higher consciousness, to the divine. The focus was not on the body, but on inner discipline. The practitioners of this time were called rishis, or wise seers. They would go into the forests or mountains to live a simple life. They practiced intense concentration meditation. Their goal was to quiet the mind so they could hear the subtle truths of the universe. Our timeline now brings us to a very special moment in yoga's history. We arrive in the classical period around the 2nd century. This is when a great sage named Patanjali did something amazing. He gathered all the different ideas and practices of yoga and organized them. He wrote them down in a brilliant text called the Yoga Sutras. A sutra is like a thread, a short, powerful statement. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras are a collection of 196 of these threads, which together create a complete guide to the path of yoga. This text became the foundational guidebook for what we now call classical yoga. Patanjali gave us a clear and beautiful roadmap. He called it the Ashtanga, which means the 8-limbed path. Think of it like a tree with 8 branches, all growing from the same trunk and all leading toward the sky. Each limb is an important part of the journey. The first 2 limbs are the yamas and niyamas. These are ethical guidelines for how we live our lives and how we treat others and ourselves. They are about things like non-violence, or ahimsa, truthfulness, or satya and contentment, or santosha. They are the foundation, teaching us how to live a yogic life even when we are not on our mat. The third limb is asana, the physical postures. For Patanjali, asana was about creating a steady and comfortable seat for meditation. The fourth limb is pranayama, the control of the breath or life force. After the time of Patanjali, yoga continued to evolve and change. We enter a period known as post-classical yoga, which unfolded over many centuries. During this time, yoga masters started to explore the physical body in a new way. They began to believe that the body was not an obstacle to enlightenment, but a vehicle for it. They developed a new system that placed much more importance on the physical postures and breathing techniques. This new system was called Hatha Yoga. The word Hatha is very poetic. Ha represents the sun, Tha represents the moon. Hatha Yoga is the yoga of balance, uniting these opposite energies within ourselves. The masters of Hatha Yoga wrote new texts like the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. These texts were different from Patanjali Sutras. They provided much more detail about the physical practices. They described many different asanas or postures. They described a wide variety of pranayama or breathing techniques. They also introduced other practices like mudras, hand gestures. These helped control and direct the flow of prana or life force energy in the body. This development is incredibly important. Hatha Yoga is the direct ancestor of most of the physical yoga we practice today. For thousands of years, yoga was a practice and philosophy that lived almost exclusively in India. But in the late 1800s and early 1900s, that began to change. Brave and wise teachers from India started to travel to the Western world, to Europe, to America. One of the very first and most influential of these teachers was Swami Vivekananda. In 1893, he gave a powerful speech at the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. He did not teach yoga poses. He spoke with great passion about yoga philosophy and universal religion and tolerance. He captured the hearts and minds of many Americans. Swami Vivekananda opened the door. He planted the idea that the spiritual wisdom of the East had something valuable to offer the West. Following him, other great masters made the journey. Paramahansa Yogananda came to America in the 1920s. He wrote the famous book, Autobiography of a Yogi. The journey of yoga across the oceans ensured that this ancient practice would not only survive, but thrive. Here we are in the present day. Today is September 16th, 2025. Look around and you will see that yoga is everywhere. It has blossomed into a beautiful, diverse, global community. New York, Tokyo, quiet towns, peaceful retreats, people are unrolling their mats. Studios, gyms, parks, living rooms, online classes. The way we practice yoga today is incredibly varied. Vinyasa, flow-linking movement to breath. Iyengar, precise alignment and holding poses. Restorative, props supporting the body, deep relaxation. The rise of technology has also played a huge role in shaping modern yoga. With the internet, yoga is more accessible than ever before. This has created a global community who can connect and share their journey, even across thousands of miles. This digital connection has helped yoga spread even further. bringing its message of peace and well-being to every corner of the globe. We have talked a lot about the history and the different styles of yoga, but now let's get to the real heart of the matter. What is the true meaning, the true sense of yoga? It is so easy to get focused on the physical part, the asanas. The physical postures are like the front door to the house of yoga. They are the invitation to come inside. Once inside, you discover the house has many wonderful rooms to explore. Yoga is a practice for the whole self, body, mind, spirit. It helps us build strength. It improves flexibility. It helps find better balance. It can release tension in our muscles. Our minds are often running a mile a minute. Yoga offers a sanctuary. Focusing on the breath, we create space between thoughts. And finally, for the spirit, yoga is a journey of connection. Yoga reminds us we are all connected. Our journey through the long and beautiful history of yoga is coming to a close. We have traveled from the ancient Indus Valley. We have seen how yoga has transformed from a practice of seated meditation for a few wise seers. It has crossed oceans and continents, adapted to new cultures, and found its way into the hearts of people everywhere. Through all these changes, the core purpose of yoga has remained the same: to create union, to find balance, and to connect with the deepest part of ourselves. So why does yoga matter so much in our modern world? I think it matters more now than ever before. We live in a time of great speed, stress, distraction. We are often disconnected from our bodies, from each other. Yoga gently invites us to do the opposite. It invites us to slow down, to turn our attention inward. It is an anchor in the stormy sea of modern life. Ultimately, the most important thing to remember is that yoga is your practice. There's only showing up and finding what feels good. Namaste.